Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, a lot of things have been going on. I really haven't been in front of this camera for the last couple of days making videos, but before I get into this video, let me say congratulations to my guy Kemba Walker on making the NBA All-Star team. It's been a long time coming. Now, boxing-wise, a lot has been going on in the heavyweight division. We've had, for the second time in as many fights, an opponent of Deontay Wilder's, on record, fail a drug test of some sort that would cancel his scheduled fight. Now, whether you believe the validity or don't believe the validity of the drug test, that's to each his own. But what I'm saying is, Andre Warzik, according to VADA, did in fact test positive for anabolic steroids, and the February 25th date, is either going to get like Wilder's not going to fight that day, or he's got to find another opponent. So I'm thinking Wilder wants to stay active. He wants to kind of work through these hand problems he's having, and he wants to fight someone, to stay busy. And his WBC title is a very, very coveted belt in the boxing world. And recently, on Facebook I posted, and I'll leave you guys the screenshots to everything I'm saying. Recently on Facebook I posted basically saying that this is a sign for, as far as Warzik testing positive for anabolic steroids, that this is a sign that Deontay Wilder needs to stop fighting guys who are ridiculously overmatched. I mean, the guy, in my personal opinion, and due to his resume and just how he's acted in the past, I think Deontay Wilder is probably one of the most protected fighters in boxing, maybe the most protected fighter in boxing, because the guy is not willing to fight any of the top guys. And now that Warzik, a fight that nobody wanted to see, that nobody was interested in seeing in the first place, has been scraped because of Warzik, Wilder now is tasked with finding another opponent on short notice, and a week out from the fight, a month out from the fight, I should say, 4 weeks out from the fight. And it's funny because I posted this on Facebook, and we had top flight media members, Fernando Pimentel behind the gloves, and Neil Johnson, shout out to them, Hoop Jab. They commented and they gave their little 2 cents on this and whatnot. And they were basically saying, like, because Wilder has the fight's going to be on short notice, that he can't find a good opponent, that he should get another pass to fight a lesser overmatched opponent. And basically I was just throwing names out there. I said, Shannon Briggs should fight Wilder. That could be a fight on short notice. I know Shannon would take the fight because he's in camp right now for Freza Kendo. Another guy I also talked about, I don't think Wilder is ever going to go near Shannon Briggs because it's a lose-lose situation for him. It's one of those situations where if he beats him, he'd be the old man. If he loses, then he was a protected trash champion. So he's in a lose-lose situation there. And on top of that, as much as I love Shannon, he hasn't really fought anybody to get into that position. But I still believe it'd be a way tougher fight for a couple rounds. Really tough fight for a couple rounds. Shannon still hits really hard, has a granite chin, been at the championship level, been boxing as a heavyweight for 20 plus years. So you can't ever count a guy like that out, especially against a guy like Wilder, who has shown the propensity to get, when he's hit with flush by certain guys, that he does get wobbled. I mean, look at Eric Molina fight. So I threw that name out there, but I think the guy that Wilder should fight most, and we've been hearing that it's a very big possibility, is Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington, undefeated heavyweight. I believe he's 18-0-1 or something like that. Ranked number 10 by the WBC. Gerald Washington is a solid American heavyweight. Not an A-level fighter by any means, I don't believe so, but definitely a guy that I deem as worthy of a title fight, based on the options Wilder has available to him now. Gerald Washington, ranked 10 by the WBC. And this fight to me is very interesting because if you look at Wilder's opponents, he kind of has a stylistic advantage due to the fact that he's very tall, very rangy, and he's gotten better with that jab as time has went on, with Mark Breland. He's 6'7". Gerald Washington's pushing 6'6". So it would be interesting to see Wilder in there with a taller opponent. See what he could do with that. See how he could establish range, how he could set up his power, just things like that. And I think it'd be a good fight on short notice for him. That Gerald Washington's a good opponent for him, and it makes tons of sense because you're supposed to fight a guy in the top 15 if you're the WBC champion. guy in the WBC top 15 rankings, and Washington is in there, so it makes all the sense in the world. Now, that's the fight I believe should happen, and I reached out because I'm friends with a couple heavyweights. I have the numbers on my phone. I texted Gerald Miller and I texted Trevor Bryan a couple days ago, and I asked them, I said, hey, would you fight Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight title, and is 4 weeks not long enough for you to get ready for a title fight with Wilder? Now, I didn't get a response back from either one of them. Trevor Bryan is like, I believe he's ranked like top 25, top 30-ish. So he's probably not gonna fight Wilder. That's not realistic. But I wanted to know what he would say. And Gerald Miller, I reached out. He didn't respond either. But Gerald Miller did post on Instagram, and I'll get to that in other videos. But there's plenty of guys I know out there that would fight Deontay Wilder. I know Shannon Briggs is in camp. He'd fight him. Washington was prepping for a fight on the undercard of Wilder Warzig. I know he stated before the Wilder fight, but he even said on Instagram 4 weeks before this happened, a month before this happened, he said it was a picture of him and Deontay Wilder, and I'll leave that in the description for you guys. It was a picture of him and Wilder shaking hands at some sort of press conference, and he said that basically if the Warzig fight falls through, that he'd be right there to take it. So that was before this happened, and it's fallen through, and he's ready to take it. And then on my status, the one I'm telling you guys about, he actually commented because Fernando, me and him get into boxing arguments all the time. I really don't agree with like 99% of things he says about boxing because he tends to always protect the PBC guys. Now, he was like, he tags Gerald Washington, right? He tags Gerald Washington, I believe, right? Was he? Did he? Yeah, he did. He said, what if Gerald Washington is the one who declines due to a short camp? And then Gerald Washington, because he tags Gerald Washington thinking that Gerald Washington wouldn't see it. Gerald Washington actually responds. He says, "I'm ready to fight right now. I'm ready to rock right now. Hashtag champion on the rise. Hashtag year of the rooster." I'll leave all this for you guys in the description. Gerald Washington has stated before the Wilder Warzig fight fell apart and after the Wilder Warzig fight fell apart that he will fight Deontay Wilder. So literally, it comes down to this: will Deontay Wilder sign the contract and fight Gerald Washington, a solid heavyweight? Someone who isn't ridiculously shorter than him, someone to where it'd be a lot harder for him to have those stylistic advantages, the stylistic advantage of height. Will he sign the contract? Will he fight Gerald Washington? That's the question we need to ask ourselves, because Gerald Washington is ready for the fight. Let's see if Wilder answers the bell and decides to fight a respectable opponent on short notice, because that Areola situation last time, to me, as far as who he picked, you can make what you want of the Povetkin thing. As far as who he picked, I thought it was a joke, honestly. No disrespect to Areola, he was a good, solid contender back in the day, but he should have never been in the ring for a title fight. Respect to him for taking the fight, but he shouldn't have been in the ring that fight with Wilder. So we'll see what happens, man. Let me know what you guys think. Who would you like to see Deontay Wilder fight now that the Warzig fight has been pretty much not going to happen? I'm going Gerald Washington. I think that's a really respectable opponent. I would give Wilder a lot of credit for taking the fight like that on short notice. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.